to the sailor. We're going to just do back up a little bit and do the layer setup and then review masks and get into retouching. So first thing we're going to do, this guy is upside down, all sorts of crooked. Going to start by, there we go, going to image rotation 180. And that gets us this gets us upside right. Command H, as in hedgehog, will hide your extras, such as those guides. Command R will show your rulers. All right, the next thing we need to do is straighten it out. I'm going to grab the crop tool, C is the shortcut, and grab the straighten. Now, when you have the straighten tool, it's the little ruler, you want to draw a line that will be the new straight. And you'll see it saying minus 5.3 degrees, and it straightens it up. Make sure it does not crop out your fringe, and it gives you room at the top for additional fringe. Right now, I have delete cropped pixels selected. That's fine because I don't think I'm going to need anything other than this. So when I hit return to apply that transformation, I still have a lacked background. But if I go up in my history and I do that again and uncheck delete cropped pixels, do the same thing, make sure I've got my fringe, and I hit return, you'll see that now we have layer 0. That was because we did not delete the cropped pixels, and at any time we can go to image, reveal all, and it shows us our entire workspace. So that's up to you how you decide to proceed. When I'm working with my photograph, I always use the crop and uncheck delete cropped pixels so that I have the option of going back and forth. I'm going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to grab layer 0, drag it over the new item button, and then take layer 0 and turn it off. Right? And I can also lock it. Now, why I'm doing that is just to make sure I don't do any damage to my original pixels. I'm going to rename that background copy. And essentially, these are the same. But if I make a mistake and retouch on the background copy, it's no big deal because I always have the background original. You know what? Let's name this background OG. Okay. Now, 2 more layers and we will be all ready to go. I'm going to add a black and white adjustment layer. And it looks black and white, absolutely, but there's a little bit of coloration from it being aged. And sometimes if you use a black and white adjustment layer, it can get rid of different staining. But look in the layer panel. Our black and white layer isn't doing anything because it's not in the stack properly. So you have to drag it up to the top. And then you can grab the little scrubby hand in the Properties Black and White menu. And if you want, you can see if you click and drag and see if it changes the value in a way that you like. All right, so most of these, the red works a little on the edges. You can also try some of the defaults. This isn't going to help us too much, but it is now a black and white image when this layer is turned on. And you can see it gets rid of a little bit of coloration on the borders. And the last thing we're going to do to set up our file is make a new layer or Shift Command N and name it Retouching. And this is where we will begin to use the spot healing brush, the healing brush, and the patch tool. I'm going to start with the spot healing brush because it's all sorts of awesome. The one thing you need to check for every one of your retouching layers, retouching tools, is that you've got sample all layers or sample current and below, because there's nothing on this layer, the blank layer. You're going to sit here all day with that spot healing brush. But as soon as you check that, it's able to sample the information from a layer below and making little gestures. You can use the spot healing tool to start to clean up the sky. Try to avoid long movements like that. It's not a brush because it can upset the original texture. I'm going to go to my history panel and get rid of the last couple changes I made by clicking off them. So here's where I was. I wanted to get rid of that one, and that one, and that one. So the history panel is a linear way that you can Command Z. All right, so if I didn't like that, go to the history panel. I can also drag it to the trash. All right, now let's save it. Command S, Katarina _ project 2. Make sure it's a PSD. Layers. Sounds good. All right.